So I mean, we all know about the divorce rate. We all know about those things. Divorce rate, breakups, cheating, you know, but like I said, there is no the only way you work this stuff out is knowing what you truly want in another person. That's kind of that's the best way, knowing that. So, but kind of veering off from the main topic of the kind of discussion here. Um, the thing is, there's the shift that's going on is, a lot of times, concentrating on, oh crap, went too low. A lot of times, you know, well, I'm not going to say a lot of times. I mean, it's right here. People are engulfed in their shadows and they don't even know it. Engulfed in their shadows and they don't even know it. And that's just the truth. Like I said, a lot of this stuff, come down here, engulfed in their shadows. Yeah, that's this guy in red right here. So people don't know this stuff. Women don't know this stuff. So they don't realize that all they do is project. So, like I said, a woman's animus is laced with masculine energy. So this ESTP, like I said, famous ESTPs, you may know them. The Rock is one. Um, I can't believe I forgot his name. A lot of basically a lot of your athletes, NBA, NFL, hockey, a lot of them are going to be SC, are going to have high SC, your athletes. So, like I said, hence this guy right here. So, SC seeks, or its primary function is to record the external world. And as it records, like I said, it notices everything. So, and I'm saying it notices everything almost like how lions or dogs or wolves, they can sense fear in their prey. That's what I mean. SE is the eyes of the external world. If an eye is the eye, if an eye is the eyes of the unseen, SE is the eyes of the external world. So, and a lot of your, and what's a quick way you can tell what SE is? Guys that are buff. Guys that are buff. Meatheads in the gym. That's kind of your telltale sign of an SE Dom. Well, an ESTP or high SE. It's kind of a side note. But like I said, that's what SE does, male SE does. It has the mentality of seek, conquer, and if there's anything in my way, destroy it. Like, Like you come to a planet and you see resources. Hey, I need those resources. Well, these are ours. You're not getting them. Oh yeah? Watch this. Then they completely destroy and take over. Like these are characteristics of SE. Fighting, you know, wars, all that stuff. So, um, yeah. So, but like I said, the SE seeks to be the king. Well, basically, if you could compare ESTP to an animal in the jungle, the ESTP would be the lion, or you could say ESTP is the king of the jungle. You could say that. You could say that. So now take the example of a lion, strength, all that stuff. So this is what's laced in a woman's animus or her shadow. And it's times two. If she's an ESTP, well, if her shadow is an ESTP, it's times two. So a lot of your women that, you know, they're gonna want those things. They're also gonna put stuff like this. They're gonna put, going after your goals, dreams, stuff like that, conquering and going through anything you can to make sure it happens. So power, strength, competitiveness, not settling for less, sternness, assertiveness. That is what these guys are. All that stuff that women want. That is what the ESTP is by nature. Like I said, the king of the jungle, in my opinion. If I had to compare the ESTP to a lion in the jungle, that's what I would say it was. This guy, the eagle, but that's another story. So, um, with the, so yeah, I mean, this is the source of women that, you got your doctors, your lawyers, things like that, female that are in that type of competitive environment that are dominated by men. And those women succeed because most likely, 9 times out of 10, their their shadows are at play because every shadow is laced. Every woman's shadow is laced with masculine energy. And like I said, every man's shadow is laced with feminine energy. And that's kind of the shift that's happening in the world where women may say, oh, well, it's women are becoming, I mean, and I heard there were statistics that prove it. So it's more now that women are becoming the breadwinners versus men. And this is kind of the source because the enema is laced with feminine energy. But how it works is it's up to both parties to fully integrate with themselves, their shadows. That is the key. That's the key. So, and the telltale sign of a woman that is trapped in her shadow, telltale sign is a woman that is all about, you know, power, competitiveness, striving, goal oriented, like times 10, all that stuff. If she's 99% this, everything I said, this, then she is trapped in her animus. She's swallowed by it to where, like I said, blind projection onto the other person. And like I said, it's vice versa. Projection does not stop. Like I said, you're going to project your shadow on the other person. You're going to do it. Because, I mean, say for example, if it's a woman that's a TI dom, right? If she's a TI dom, she's going to want a man that is a TE dom. And that's just how it goes. That's just how it goes. So, um, but I guess kind of to sum it all up, um, and like I said, it's vice versa too. Men run into the issue of, as they kind of want that they want women to be more feminine, to where they want women to be more feminine because that's our shadow. And basically, like I said, your animus is basically your ideal partner, your ideal partner on paper. Space. Ideal partner, animus, anima. Whatever a man's anima is his perfect ideal in a woman. Whatever a woman's animus is, that is her perfect ideal for as far as what she wants in a man. Let me tell you something. You see this right here, fellas? Fellas, if a woman has this as her shadow, you better get in the weight room. You better get in the weight room. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Because how it works is, if not, who's experienced wandering eyes before? Who's experienced wandering eyes? I'm not gonna write that. Well, maybe I will. Raise your hand if you experienced it. If you're an adult, at least over 25 years old, you have. Yeah. Unfortunately, like I said, human nature is human nature. And come and look an eye, but you get it. So, because, like I said, this is what she wants in a man. This is what she wants. So, like I said, get in the weight room unless you don't want your woman looking at somebody else's body, muscles, how attractive they are. Because more of an everyday sense, that is what SE is. That is what it is. It wants to give everybody a good experience. And if a man is an SE Dom or a woman, 9 times out of 10, they will be this. They will be. Because, like I said, that's what SE does. But I'll get into later on, I'm going to do my series on all the cognitive functions and I'll go deeper into that later. But this is something different. So, um, yeah, I think I've covered everything that I kind of want to get out about this. Like I said, women are they're engulfed by their animus. Men engulfed by their anima. The shift that's happening is men are getting more in touch with this, women with this. And I'm not saying that this is something new. It's kind of a shift over time in the last 20 years or so, I'll say. Because of course back in the 80s, 70s or whatever, it was the reverse, where, you know, women stayed at home, men work, yada yada yada. But like I said, over the course of time, women have said, well, enough is enough. We can do this too. We can go work. We can go be professional athletes. We can be judges. We can be lawyers. All that stuff. And it's the source is here. The source is here. Source is here. And that's just how it goes. That's just how it goes. So you cannot escape yourself. No human can escape themselves. It's impossible. So, I mean, the only way to really, well, what's the answer? I'll say that. What's the answer? Like I said, the answer is fully integrating with your shadow. How do you do that? You look yourself in the mirror, pretty much. You gotta look yourself in the mirror. You look yourself in the mirror and say, and introspect and look at you, and say, basically, yeah, look yourself in the mirror. Every deep, repressed wound, because it all stems from here. It all stems from here. This is our shadow. And you have to come to grips with your shadow, face it head on. There's three principles that I've kind of started living by is, you know, one, face your enemy. Two, face your worst fear. Three, face yourself. And women and men alike need to do this because it shapes the whole entire planet, everything across the world. The idea is not to 100% focus. Oh crap! I actually thought that was the eraser. That was that big. I guess it wasn't. Um, the idea is to integrate and become one with you. That is the goal. Oneness. Oneness. You don't get there. You don't get there without integrating with your shadow. You don't get there. Um, a lot of people say, you have to do self-help books, you have to do this and that. That is not how how I integrated with my shadow. I prayed. And I do this all the time. I was in a very dark time in my life. Like I've said before, I was somebody I did not appreciate, that I didn't appreciate who I was. And at the lowest point in my life, I just got on my knees and said, God, I don't want to be this person anymore. You know, I don't, I don't want to, I don't want to be this person. I don't want to hurt people. I don't want this. I don't want that. I want to be genuinely, truly who I feel I am, or search for that person. So that's where it starts. That's where it starts. And for me, slowly, through my journey of spiritual awakening and things like that, I've, introspected more and more and more and looked at myself. Do I claim to be perfect? No way. Let me repeat that. Do I claim to be perfect? No way. I'm a human just like everyone else. I struggle with things just like everyone else, but it's more the knowledge that I have now of myself, of the world, you know, the world at large, as a whole, as one collective unit. My knowledge of this is unparalleled. And I mean, I'm nowhere near, the highest level of enlightenment or anything like that, because this just happened to me, in November of 2022. So I'm gradually on my own journey, digging deeper and deeper and deeper into myself, deeper into God, praying, things like that, to further deepen my relationship with God, to to become more and more one with myself. So, like I said, this is the key for the man to do this, the woman to do this, to become one with yourself. And I've said this before, no human being should be dating anyone if they have not fully integrated with their shadow. They shouldn't be, because all that's going to happen is you're going to project your all of the all you're going to do is project all the shadow aspects of yourself onto the other person. That's all you're going to do. So, for example, FE slavery. So we'll say this, for example, for the average INFJ, or the shadow of the ENFP person, they have FE in their shadow. When you have FE in your shadow, what does that mean? It means, one, you are skeptical of the feelings of others. You don't trust the feelings of others. Two, fear of abandonment. That's just two things, or more. That's just two things for the sake of this topic. So, like I said, FE operates off of a fear of abandonment kind of mentality. So, if somebody's like, oh, so they're going to, in one way, I'll say one way FE manifests itself in the shadow is people pleasing. We'll say that. And this kind of goes into FE slavery, like I've said before. So this is kind of the signature move of FE. I mean, by default, the higher it is, the more. So, but it's just unhealthy when it's in the shadow, not realized or actualized. So, like I said, all this person's going to do is project this onto this person. I'll do whatever it takes for you to stay, even though you don't want to, even though you're sending me all the signals, even though I'm calling you and you're not returning my call. You're I'm asking you out on dates. You never know. You never have time. And FE keeps on projecting and keeps on saying, I'll do whatever it takes. Don't leave. Fear of abandonment. FE does that. That's how FE is. So, like I said, this is just one example. And like I said, for a woman, if a woman is attractive, She's in the gym. I said, fellas, you don't want your woman fantasizing about The Rock, all these guys that are hot on TV when they go out, when you're on a date with a woman and her eyes are wandering on your dates. You better make sure because it's unavoidable. Please do not believe a woman when she tells you that, oh, you're the, if you're not this to her, she's lying, and vice versa. And it works both ways, but works both ways. So, but the thing is, with sensors, I mean, your shadow, you cannot see it. With your shadow, you cannot see it. So, to sensors, well, she's telling me, this is my wife, this is my girlfriend, or whatever. You got to believe her, right? So, but yeah, that's not how this guy works. These two together, good luck. But anyway, um, like I said, fellas and ladies alike, if a man is an SE dom, ladies, you don't want your man's eyes wandering around. Be everything to him. How it works is I'll give you an example. So what a woman may ask you that has in lower SE or kind of, I'll say shadow SE is also, you know, performance anxiety. It's also that performance anxiety in every sense of the word. So, um, so a woman, ISTJ female, more often has, or anyone that has SE in their shadow, is not going to be the best in the best physical shape. A lot of times they're going to be overweight. That the lower SE is in their shadow, the bigger they're going to be, unless they've realized that, or unless it's from a fear kind of based state. I want people to have a good experience because I don't want to lose anybody, because I fear losing somebody out of my life or whatever it is, or a mate, whatever. So if they do, it may come from that type of mentality. So I'm reaching the end, but hopefully, you know, I've kind of explained a little bit or given some insight about the state of the world, why women are more dominantly or starting to be more career driven, things like that, because they're fueled by whatever their animus is, and they're projecting that. A man, of course, wants a woman to be more feminine. What's in what is a man's shadow? Laced with feminine energy. So he's going to project that femininity onto a woman. And that's just how it works. That's just how it works. And like I said, the key is making sure you know who you're with before you get married, before all this happens. Because look at the divorce rate. When this is why it's what it is. People not being with who they should be with, and they're projecting onto the other person, and they're not they're not compatible. It's not a match. So it just leads to more and more of this. That's it. But I'm out of time. Thank you guys for tuning in or watching. I'll catch you guys later. Take care.